Hey everyone, my name is Mina. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the video. We're going to be making anabolic nachos today.
We're going to be making our own tortilla chips. So these are the tortillas that I always use. They only have 50 calories per 4 grams of protein and 11 grams of fiber. So they're going to help keep you full. I'm going to cook off 3 pounds of turkey. That's going to last me for the whole week. So this is how I cook it, just with onions and garlic. I'll show you that in a second. Then fat-free cheese for toppings, a tomato, about 1/3 of an onion, some cilantro, a lime, and 3 tablespoons of sour cream. Then a sheet tray to bake all the chips and the nachos on. To make the ground turkey, I like to dice onion and some garlic just to give it some flavor. I know that onion adds a little bit of calories, but I really like the flavor in there. I think it's worth the extra 10 or 20 calories that it adds. So do a small dice, as small as you can. Now peel the garlic and then do a small mince, or you could also press it if you don't feel like doing this step. Once you chop everything up, use some cooking spray and saute the onions and the garlic in a pan. Once the onions are almost done, push them all to the side of the pan and get ready to put the ground turkey in. Once you put the ground turkey, you want to start to break it apart right away, and this is what I use for my taco seasoning mix. You can buy your own pre-made seasoning. A lot of time it has extra calories, extra sugars that you don't need, so I opt to make my own. I don't really have a recipe for this right now. I kind of just eyeball everything as I go along, and these are the ingredients that I use in mine. Just keep in mind that I use the cinnamon and the nutmeg very sparingly. You don't need a lot of it, just a little bit of it. And it's important to keep breaking the meat up as you go along, because you want it to be really fine. You don't want it to be clumpy. Unless that's what you want, then that's cool too. And this is what it looks like after it's done. Okay, let's make the tortilla chips. We're gonna take 4 tortillas and cut them into 8s. You could probably use the pizza slicer for this. It would be easier. I just didn't have one on hand, so I used my knife to do it. Now start to break apart all the tortilla chips, and we're gonna put them on a sheet tray lined with some parchment paper, just because it makes it easier to handle them. It's okay if they go on top of each other a little bit, or if they're kind of touching each other. They're gonna go into the oven at 400 degrees until they're crispy, about 10 minutes. While those are in the oven, let's cut the toppings. We're gonna start with the tomatoes. I like to dice them. Also do a small dice, or small as you can. And I'm just gonna put all the toppings on a plate here, just so they're ready for the nachos when they're done. Then a red onion, also in a pretty small dice, because no one wants a large chunk of red onion when they're eating nachos. I think cilantro is one of the most important ingredients in nachos, so I like to use a lot of it. The other thing I forgot to mention is sliced jalapeños. I like spicy food, and especially on nachos, I like a decent amount of jalapeños. So if you like spicy food, I would recommend this on them. If not, you could always just skip this. So the fat-free sour cream doesn't have too much of a taste on its own, so we're gonna have to give it some taste. I'm gonna weigh out the sour cream here, and I'm just gonna add some salt, some pepper, and half of a lime juiced. And that's gonna also make it a lot easier to drizzle on top of the nachos. It's not gonna be so thick. That's a pretty good consistency right there. Don't forget about the chips. Let's go check on them. Looks like they're about done. So we're ready to start building the nachos. This is the most fun part of the whole meal, is actually building this whole thing. We're gonna start with the ground turkey. So I used 7 ounces in this recipe. You could always use less or more, but if you wanted to have the same calories that I have here, it's 7 ounces of turkey. Next on the list is the cheese. 3 ounces of fat-free cheese. This stuff is great. It's just straight protein. No fat, no carbs, straight protein. After you put the cheese on, it's gonna go into the oven for about 3 to 5 minutes just to melt the cheese. That's all. We're not looking to cook anything. We just want to melt the cheese in the oven. That's all. Alright, now you can scoop on all the toppings. Just make sure you spread it nice and evenly on there, and try not to make a mess like I just did here. I also used the other half of the lime and cut it up to have on the side. Now for that lime sour cream drizzle. Finish it up with some cilantro. And there's those limes, just put them on the side to squeeze for later.
And there it is, anabolic nachos. So I'm gonna put all the calories and the protein and everything else on the screen right now at some point. When it comes to hot sauces, there's 3 I recommend. They have 0 calories. So we have Cholula hot sauce, I like the green one, 0 calories. Green salsa, also 0 calories. And of course, Valentina, 0 calories. So I'm gonna try this out, see how it is. This is really good. If you like nachos, you're gonna love this. I tried to finish it. It's huge. This is a lot of food. It is just so much food. So I'm done. This is delicious. Definitely try this. This has so much fiber. It's going to keep you full for hours. This has as much fiber as you need for one whole day. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.